Hey everyone, welcome to Pave the Way. I'm JB with B&M Builders. Jonathan Brown here as always with Patrick.
How you doing?
Today I'm super excited. Actually, we're here with Mike Woods. He is the owner of Morton Golf. He did the pictures widen out. You can see them all, I think. Like I said, we're real informal here, Mike. So for us, our pictures are tall and skinny, so we look weird. We're here with Mike Woods from Morton Golf, who we actually did a project for last year. Mid last year, I believe, right? We had a great experience with them, and we kind of wanted to get you on here, Mike, talk to you about your experience with us, about what you guys are doing, and the incredible golf courses that you have. I also have David here with Ron. They're in the screen over there. They're our big golf fanatics, along with Seth, who's actually sick today, so he couldn't make it in. I'm sure he's going to be real bummed about this. But I kind of wanted to get everybody in so we can kind of talk and see what we had going on. So, Mike, if you want to maybe take a couple seconds and introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about you and how you got to where you are.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate the opportunity, and I think it's a great idea to tell the story. The Haggin Oaks property is really the jewel golf course for the city of Sacramento. The city owns 4 golf courses, and we're fortunate to manage all 4 of them. And our company, Morton Golf, our CEO has been here now at Haggin Oaks for 63 years. Ken Morton Sr., pretty outstanding. He's an amazing individual. And, the golf industry for a few decades has been really stagnant. There's this big boom when this guy you might have heard of, Tiger Woods, came along. And but then things got stagnant. In fact, some golf courses in town started to close up. There's been a few that have closed in the last 10 years. And then to our surprise, COVID hits and golf becomes the thing to do. And everybody wants to play golf, and we've seen tremendous growth. But what happens is you end up with these very old properties. This facility was built in 1932. And so these very old properties that maybe haven't had quite the amount of investment in the property that they've needed to have. And the owners just don't have the funds to do it. And so when things get a little healthier, all of a sudden you have some funding. And that's where Ron and I connect at that point, because, we really don't know much about doing projects with our hard surfaces. I mean, we know how to run golf courses. If you want to learn how to hit the high draw, I'm your guy. And, but if it's about how to redo a road or build a road, do some asphalt work, things of that nature, that's not our cup of tea. So we need trusted partners, and Ron and I hit it off really quickly. And what I really enjoyed with my relationship with Ron is that his approach was really educational. It was really explaining to me why and how, and that was good for me because I want to understand things and how things work. And so, we had a couple projects in mind, and Ron and I talked about them, and as the story has said, the rest is history.
That's pretty awesome. So that's Haggin Oaks. You actually manage some other courses though also, right?
Yeah, we do. We manage the Bing Maloney Golf Course down in South Sacramento off of Freeport. We also manage the Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course. It's the one you see right off of I-5 with all the mounds. And then we're fortunate to manage the Land Park 9-hole course in Land Park. And the Land Park Golf Course is the oldest golf course in the city of Sacramento, or in the county of Sacramento. It's been there since the teens. And so, again, a lot of investment needed to keep something that has that much wear and tear to it going.
That's pretty awesome. Have you guys played all those courses?
Yeah, I've played everyone but the 9-hole.
Yeah, but the 9-hole.
I played every one of them. My son plays Land Park all the time because it's easy to get on, and he loves playing that little course. It's great.
What's your favorite one?
My favorite one is actually, I like Bartley Kavanaugh because it's a link style course, and that's one of my favorites. It's really a thinking man's little golf course. Even though it's a shorter course, it's really a nice little course.
That's cool.
Those courses mean a little bit more to me because I actually played those courses before I even moved to Sacramento. I grew up down in Victorville, and my grandpa lived up here, and my grandpa was a huge golfer. So when I'd come up and visit, we'd play Haggin Oaks and we'd play Bartley. And it's all about, I love going there and playing. It's just mainly because of the memories. Yeah. It's cool to have those memories I had with my grandpa.
You called
grandfather.
barley a link style? What does that mean?
That's all pumpy. It's like what they have over in Scotland and stuff like that. They're really kind. It's a cool little course. It's
Okay.
It's a thinking man little course, man. You just can't just throw it out there in the middle of a fairway. You gotta
I
think
gotcha.
about it a little bit, which
Okay.
I like because that's
Yeah, that's
just
cool.
fun. It's fun for golf that way.
That's
And I
interesting.
spent a mountain of time at Haggin Oaks with my son, so I mean we spent a lot of time there hitting the range and playing golf there and stuff. It's just a great place, great facility, and the clubhouse is amazing, and the big store that they have, your superstore, is just phenomenal. There's not a store probably bigger than that around anywhere near here.
That's
Is that
interesting.
the course that does the auto ball feeder?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
oh,
they
yeah,
don't
that's
have it
pretty
anymore.
cool.
They used to have auto ball feed, and now you don't anymore. But now they have TrackMan.
Oh,
So when
okay.
you hit the ball, you get to see where the ball goes
Oh,
and how
nice.
far it goes, what
Nice.
its shape is, and everything. It's awesome. I mean, they're the only golf course around here that has that.
That's cool.
That's pretty
It's-
awesome.
It's really awesome.
That's a whole other story. Is their driving range and their
Oh,
all that. That's
that
just
is-
something to go do at 10 o'clock at night.
It's great.
Go-
And it's
go-
open 24
go
hours
balls.
during the summer.
Oh,
what,
wow.
what is it after
I didn't know any of this.
April? After April, it goes 24 hours, right?
Yeah, we it's a fascinating story. We've been a 24-hour operation in the summer season for close to 30 years. And so, you know, in the hot Sacramento summer, going out there 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, coming out at 2 a.m., I mean, it's awesome. And when COVID hit, it didn't feel right being open around the clock. And so nowadays in the summer, we close at 2 a.m., but it's the same type of thing. Where it's a late night type of activity on those warm nights. And we have the Top Tracer product. It's actually owned by Top Golf, the Top Golf up in Roseville.
Yeah.
And they have a product for their Top Golf facilities, and they have another product called Top Tracer. It's exactly the same thing, but it's for a driving range. And we have it on all 52 bays. There's a TV monitor on all 52 bays. You can go out there and play Pebble Beach. You can go out there and see how far each shot goes. You can play closest to the pin. You can compete. You can do all kinds of fun things on it.
That's cool.
It's
That's-
really cool.
That's at Haggin?
At Haggin Oaks. Yeah.
That's what we need to do. We bring-
I was going to say, a bunch of us should go out there and
all of
just
us
play. That'd be
have
great.
a group thing.
It's a fun group activity. Really, really fun, economical group activity. And when you do that, you'll get out there and you'll see we're not alone thinking this. There's people everywhere. And it's
Yeah.
really fun.
I mean, it's packed every day. It's ridiculous
Oh, yeah.
how many people are out there every day.
Yeah.
That is by far the best facility in the area. No doubt,
Nice.
by far.
Another thing, actually, Mike, that I hadn't mentioned, we talked a little bit before we started this, but Patrick's sister actually got married out there also. And I had to text my wife and ask her about August 15th or August 1st. I'm going to get that wrong. 2015, she got married out there, and we went and played around out there.
Yeah.
Actually-
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, we had a great time.
Yeah, we've been fortunate. We built the wedding venue about 15 years ago. And, you know, if you're looking to do a wedding or if you're looking to do some kind of big function in Sacramento, it's really expensive. And when you go shop different places, it's hard. It's really hard to find something, and the fees are very, very high. And so we found here that we've created a kind of a nice middle ground price point, and people really enjoy doing it in a golf course setting. And it's been very successful for us. We typically will have over 100 weddings a year, and it's been a really nice part of our business.
Wow. It really was. It was a nice venue. It really felt very upscale, I think is probably the best word for it. I mean, you're there. Everything was very elegant and nice. And going into the evening, it was cool playing golf there right before. So it was kind of like tied in. It was really great. I enjoyed it.
Cool. Very cool.
So so Ron, you want to tell us what kind of project did we actually do out there? I think we've mentioned it on a couple other podcasts, but what did you see when you first went out?
Well, the very first time we went out and met Mike, we were doing cart paths out there for him. So
Yep.
we did some cart path areas, did some R&R, fixed that whole area. It was about 200 or about 350 feet of cart path. Replaced it, just did R&R, complete replacement. And then Mike had contacted me again. We just stayed in contact with each other. And Rick, from your superintendent for your grounds guy, we stayed in contact together. And they were talking about doing the road because you wanted to solve the problem with the dirt in the road, because every time people drove in the back to the back range, you're getting all this dirt and dust and everything like that, and just doing a physical improvement of the place. So we came out, we met, went over the job, he didn't have any plans for it, so we just kind of design built it for him.
Yeah.
Figured out how we could reslope the road properly so it would drain properly, reslope the back parking lot so it sloped and drained properly. We got together out there and we kind of laid it out for him of where the parking stalls were going to be, put speed bumps in the road so the speed bumps would slow the people down so they don't drive out there so fast. It keeps people safe. And kind of helped out the grounds guy too. We made some little areas for the grounds guys out there, and that's what we kind of went over. And Mike was pretty open with what we had and had some ideas in his what Mike wanted, and kind of went from there. And we put it together for him. And so yeah, it was really, to me, it was, I love the idea of building things. And with Mike, it was great because he was wide open about how to build it. You know, he was saying, hey, what do you think this? What do you think that? We kind of brainstormed it together and came up with a proposal that would work for him.
How did the experience go for you, Mike? Like, how did you feel about just the whole experience of Ron coming out and kind of building it all together and then the work getting done?
Yeah. So, you know, probably the first thing I'd like to say is that, you know, we do a lot of survey work with our guests, and I'm here way too much. I mean, I talk to our guests a lot and have these relationships, and we would consistently hear that gravel road to the back of our driving range and the gravel parking lot was a thing that they didn't like. They didn't like driving their car on it. They didn't like rocks going around, dust going around. Their car would get dirty, and it just didn't feel right. And so, you know, we chose to do this project, and I was just floored at the positive feedback I get from the golfers when it was completed. I mean, I knew everybody wanted it, but I mean, people are hugging me and they're just so excited. And I didn't realize that. Now, of course, I drive it too in my car, and they're right. I mean, it's just such a better experience, but I probably didn't put the amount of value on that project of going from a gravel road and parking lot to an asphalt, a properly done asphalt road and parking lot. I probably didn't realize how important that was. And as I mentioned, I don't have no experience doing this kind of thing. So Ron really took me by the hand, and we talked. He would walk me through different alternatives and certain ways to do things. And we would talk it through to try to decide what might be most successful in this environment. And it seems like by going through that kind of process, we made all the right decisions. And, you know, it looks great. It's held up great. The water flows off of it totally naturally. The speed bumps are in the perfect spot. The striping at the back of the parking lot is just right. And, you know, everything about the project, the width of it, the depth of it, everything just turned out wonderful for us. And so as a result, what we've seen our amount of people going back there increase immensely. And so now what's happened is, you know, the front side of our driving range, as we've already said, is pretty active. There's a lot of people there. There's music on. We have our food truck. We do live concerts. We have our 9-hole putting course. We have the top tracer. There's a lot of energy, and not everybody wants that if they're working on their golf game. Some people want to go to the back of the range where it's quiet, and they want to hit balls in a little more of a quiet environment. Well, the secret's out now. So many people are going back there that it's causing us now to start to look at how to increase our infrastructure back there, our ball dispenser where people get the ball, and our power supply and things of that nature, our restrooms, stuff like that, because that project has really improved our business. Nice. And so, you know, first of all, I really enjoy working with Ron because he just has the right approach. To me, he's everything that's right about a person who's a good salesperson. They're really there to listen. They're there to find out what my needs and wants are, to make suggestions of how to improve things. And he really embodies that in all the right ways. And then the other part that was really impressive to me is it's a given that when you're in the middle of the build, things happen, right? There's Y's in the road. There's something I didn't think of. There's something I forgot to tell Ron. There's all Mother Nature gets involved. I mean, there's always things that happen, right? And, you know, it was as simple as, hey, we got to talk through this. Let's figure out how we want to do it. We go out there, talk about the pluses and minuses, make a decision, and get on with it. And I found B&M Builders to be just totally flexible and really customer oriented, and wanting to make sure that you guys did it right, and that you know, that our customers and me as the client were really going to appreciate it. And you know, I'm in the customer service business, man. We succeed because of the way that we treat people. And I found that your company was so similar in that way, and that our values were very similar. And I think that's why we've got a good relationship. Ron and I talk off and on about the next project, and I look forward to doing that here sometime in the near future.
Yeah, that's nice to hear.
I think my goal with kind of talking to you on here too. I mean, I think that you guys have a history of incredible courses and really things to be proud of. Like, you have some really great facilities, and I was hoping to kind of just maybe attach ourselves to those because we were a part of building it. But I mean, what you said honestly just gave me chills. That meant a lot, man. It really did. And even what you're saying about Ron, I mean, most people don't like Ron. I'm just kidding. But what Ron does do, which I 100% agree with, is he wants to go out there and find out what's best. And I think it's our mission here is that we want to help people get the best product. Like, it's not about the money. It's not about going out there and just getting it done or doing it. We want you guys to have the best product. Like, sometimes the easiest isn't the best, or sometimes the easiest is the best, but we want to make sure that you have all that information and that education so you can make the proper decisions. And you saying that that's what Ron did for you, I mean, that's big for me, because that's my mission, as the operator of this company, is I want to be educating. I want to help everybody else so they know. And
it's important to recognize that that's special, because there's a lot of businesses out there not doing that. Yeah. And we've all had those experiences where it's a short-term relationship and people part ways not feeling good. And so I think B&M should feel really good about, that your values are coming through with your people, because it's noticeable. And I'm pretty sensitive to that. You should know that. I mean, I was in a training class running it with 50 of my staff members yesterday here. And, the types of things we're talking about are the types of things that we're talking about in those kind of training sessions about values and how we treat people and the relationships that we're building with our guests for the long term. And so it's pretty easy to do business with you guys. And one of the things that I really think about when I think back to the last project we did, it was a little scary for me because I don't know anything about that. And, Ron could have pulled the wool over my eyes, so to speak. He could have gone down a different road, and I'm not sure I would have known because it's just not my area of expertise. And then I would have been unhappy, right? Yeah. And so, but I really appreciate the approach, because I think there's a lot of businesses out there where maybe the number one thing holding them back from starting a project is, can they trust the person they're going to work with? And then that just causes them to push it back. And, I feel really strong about that with B&M Builders, is that you absolutely can trust you guys and feel really good about the outcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very
Just
much.
to chime in real quick, you mentioned doing some more infrastructure, maybe putting a bathroom back in that area for people so they don't have to go all the way to the front. All of that infrastructure work, that's stuff that we can help you with as well. All the underground plumbing, electrical, getting everything you need back there, including, we work with different companies that make pre-manufactured restrooms that are really, really nice. We've done a couple of them out in Lincoln, and I think we did one for Parks Department in Sacramento.
And affordable.
Yeah. Definitely more affordable than building on site. And, when you're done, it's one more thing to brag about.
Oh, I appreciate that. I actually didn't know that. That's really good to know, because that's going to be the next thing coming down the road here. And nice. That's really good. That's good information to know.
You can always reach out, even if it's not something we do. I mean, we've been in the industry for a long time. We know a lot of people, and we can get you in contact with people who, are trustworthy and kind of have those same beliefs we have.
Yeah, all the way from designing what you need up to installing it. We can walk you through the process.
That's cool. Fantastic.
Do you have anything? Coming up that you want to tell everybody about since we're on here?
Oh man, something coming up. Really excited about how the world's getting a little more normal every day, and especially in Sac County here in late February. It's very, very exciting. But one of the things that's coming up that I think is exciting is we've had a big event here for years called Golf Expo. You might have heard of it. And it's America's biggest demo day. It's 25,000 people, over 100 golf vendors that come. And we've done it for over 40 years. And in today's world, we can't do it. It's just too risky to spend all the money for the infrastructure and marketing and then have a new variant come, right, and not be able to do it. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to do some big demo days weekend after weekend after weekend. It's going to be about 8 weeks long. So in the months of mid-March through late May, you know, if you're interested in new equipment, it's going to be the time to come out and see the cool new red face on the TaylorMade driver, or the #1 rated Ping driver that's out there. This will be your opportunity to do it as the weather gets better, and golf is something that you're really thinking about.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a good way to fill
That's
that
great,
in.
yeah.
Yeah, that golf expo is gigantic.
Yeah. I
That's
go on
awesome.
all the time.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
cool. Well, I hope we can get everybody. I hope we can get some reach on that. And we can get some people out there. I think actually we were just talking before this about our sons played for the same high school team, and I'm sure my son would love to come down there and check some of those stuff out. I mean, we'll see what he can get. He's not that good yet, but you know, we'll get him there. So
Yeah,
awesome.
that's really great. That's great to hear about your son. I'm going to meet him at the range sometime, and I'm going to try not to embarrass him too much about his dad. But,
He doesn't get.
but I'll have fun with him for sure.
Yeah, he doesn't get embarrassed. You'll be good. Okay, well, thanks everyone for tuning in. I really appreciate you, Mike, coming on and talking to us and the incredible things that you said. Really, I even gave you free range to tell us what we did wrong, and you made me feel good about the way the guys operated out there. So I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity, guys. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So check us out on Instagram, Facebook. Where are we at? You always say that part.
LinkedIn, our website, www.bm-builders.com. You can go in there and send us an email. Again, we forgot to tell people you can ask questions during the podcast, and you can also ask them after.
Yes.
So,
and make sure you go to hagginoaks.com. Is that what it was? It just popped up there for a second. But
Yep.
There we go. hagginoaks.com. Make sure you check them out, and especially for their expo coming up. That sounds incredible, and I know we're going to head down there. Plus, I want to go try this range with a bunch of the guys, so I think we're going to come down and check you out too. So I appreciate it. Thank
Sounds
you.
great.
guys,
Thanks,
have a good day.
Mike. Appreciate it.
Take care,
Thank
Mike.
you.
Thanks, guys.